What's happening, gang? Here is a live video on a follow-up on the AMD put selling strategy that we are doing, which is the rent collection. Stick around. On this video, we will cover three things. Number one, current status of position. Number two, thought process behind the selection. And number three, how to close and roll the put selling into other weeks. So right now, we are looking at AMD flirting with support, flirting at support. And you can see that it is holding that 75 area of support. Unfortunately, or not unfortunately, but we have rent collection due for tomorrow on our put selling, but we sold puts at 81. So what does that mean? That means that tomorrow, if this price does not make it back up to 81, I will be obligated to buy 100 shares of AMD. So let's say if it closes at 77, I will be obligated to buy AMD 100 shares at 81 and then give it out. Basically, this person will be making the difference. So I will be buying something that is cheaper at a much expensive price. So I will be paying $81 times 100 shares, and immediately I will be at capital gains. Let's say if it's at 77, I will have a $4 difference times 100, and that will be my capital gain loss, not realized. So right now, what we are considering is rolling the call. We have a strategy or a step called roll. That means that you can, if your expiration was for tomorrow, you can skip it for the next week or the next week or whenever, so that you can extend your chances of making that profit. Right now, as I said, it's looking very strong above the 75, but we are sitting at 81. Still in profit. We have some profit slightly based on the time decay and all that good stuff. So if we look at our call, good. So we have 60 bucks, 50 bucks, let's say, on our intrinsic value. And right now, if I close this position, that means that I will be releasing myself from the obligation of selling at 81. I will cash whatever value I have here, and I can roll it, as I said, to the next week or whatever time frame I consider appropriate, so I can collect the full premium instead of waiting for tomorrow on the expiration and then taking the capital gain loss. So this video is for that. I will be doing it live on camera. If we look at the pattern, it is hitting the resistance and rejecting it, but right now it is a strong uptrend in the 5-minute. So the expectation is let's see, so around that range. It should hold that range. That's acting as support. This name follows, like any other, the market. So the market is acting up. this name will be acting up as well. So right now, as I said, I'm expecting a bounce here. So what I can do is I can collect that premium that I have at this level at resistance, and then roll my call into next week or any of the following weeks. If we look at the let's say we roll our call instead of tomorrow, the 30th, we roll that same call of 80 put of 81, and we roll it for next week. We are collecting immediately. We will be collecting this beauty right here. So they will pay us a premium of $450 on top of, right now it's at 2%, so I'm assuming I'm in the 80s probably. I have $80. If we look at $75, so I will be collecting 450 plus $75 on it if we roll our call into next week. If we are right, this is supposed to bounce from this area, and we should be able to take advantage of a move up into this resistance, which has been hitting all morning. So as we can see, this thing is moving as discussed. Again, no secret to this patterns. It's kind of probability. You just play them out. If it doesn't work, let's say probability is higher for a bounce, but I keep my eyes here. If let's say I'm day trading or swing trading, and if it breaks this yellow line, I'll be hitting my stop and I'll be out. Beautiful move as discussed. Again, it's just doing support resistance. No secret about it. And the expected target, it's in this area, should be struggling. And if bulls step in, we should hit close and reject, and we're evaluated at that point. Again, right now they're fighting it out. They need to hold this level and this level. Now the price target continues to coil, and it's basically just following the market, but still same support resistance areas, and the thesis still intact. Same price target, should be flirting with this 78 value pretty soon. And as planned, this beauty is going places. We said that the target was this here, and again, support. Like I said, there is no secret to this pattern, it's just probability and numbers. Right now, if bulls step in, they can break resistance, but like I said, it's all about probability, so most likely this will get rejected again, coil for a little bit, and later on will crack down. Market is kind of helping a little bit, but not so stay tuned. Right now we are looking at put selling, and we are looking very healthy. 116, 20, 30%, which is beautiful. And let's see what happens. approaching resistance, and I will be rolling this call right at this moment. So let's do this live. We are at 30%, which is pretty good. I think I'll take that. Why not? So right now, if we do this live, we are looking at buying. Again, if you want to close your position, you have to buy, because remember, we sold. So to close the position, you got to buy one. And right now at 270, 30%. Let's make it 270. Let's see if it goes through. Make sure you're buy AMD at 81 put so you can close your contract. Yeah. Pending. Come on, give it to me. Woo. 70. Completed. So that's it, guys. As you can see from the rent collection, we get our collateral back, and we get to keep the 30% premium that we got. So right now, that's a beautiful thing. Remember, we are closing 81 because the expiration is tomorrow. And even though the price is at 78 and going up, it's kind of a little stretch. So what I am going to do is roll the call, the same 81 contract. I will roll it 1 week, and I will be collecting 400 and probably around 400 to 450 bucks on top of the 100 and probably 130 bucks, 120 bucks, 30% that we got. So right now we are rolling our puts into next week, and you can go into the trade options. Unfortunately, Robinhood doesn't do it automatically for us. With Thinkorswim, you can just click a button, and I use Thinkorswim for my main account. But Thinkorswim, you can hit a button and it rolls the call for you. But with Robinhood, you have to manually close the position and reopen the position. So in theory, it's a manual roll, which is lame. So right now we are looking to buy the same call that the same puts that we had, or we can consider buying a different position, since why not? Again, if we look at this, we are showing support on the 75. So to be safe, you can pick 75 support area. And if we look at the 75 for next week, we are talking about 75 for next week, about $121 dollars. Same information should be here on Robinhood. So if we look at put selling, you got to make sure that you have selling and you have a put, and 75 here should give you the 120 credit right away. I think 75 is kind of whack. I am bullish on this, so I do not mind owning the shares. And the reason why I believe in the 80s of above by next week should be a healthy position. I do not recommend doing this above the actual price. It's always smart to do it below the price. But again, I already had 181. So in theory, I'm rolling my calls here. 80 should pay us a nice profit. So if we look at the 80, we are now, you see, 80 should be 345. And the higher you go, 373, 4, blah, blah, blah. And right now, beautiful. We sold at a good point. We closed that position at a good point. Like we said, resistance. So hopefully they flush it a little bit. And once they flush it, we can buy our positions again. So right now, let's see. If we look at the 80.5, 81 again would be 415, 82, 485. When I buy based on support, resistance, and technical analysis. AMD just reported numbers. Their numbers were very good. The only problem is that AMD is buying Z-Link. And of course, Z-Link is going up, but AMD, buyers usually tend to worry and I guess exchange of shares. I'm no expert, but this is a nice pattern here that long term, even if you want to do it for several weeks, let's say not necessarily next week, but 2 weeks out, and you pick 80, that would be a nice $440 premium right there. If you look into the 81, 82, you're looking into the 500. And the question is, do I believe that in 2 weeks, AMD will be going back up to the 80s? And my answer is yes, right? Do I care for a collateral or that money to be held for 2 weeks? Not really. That's some of my portfolio, so I can afford to keep it locked. So right now it's going down as we discussed. This is the resistance area. It's coiling. It'll probably go down a little bit and then skyrocket. So let them push it to 78.2 or closer, and we will buy. So for next week, let's see what we're gonna buy. Next week, I think 80. It's a good number since I had 81. Has healthy volume. Implied volatility, it's a little high, not that high. And the delta is at 57. I would prefer a lower delta and a higher implied volatility. The higher implied volatility, the better it is when you are selling a put, because the higher the implied volatility means that the price or the drop, it's already cooked. So there is a higher probability that the implied volatility will go back to normal. Let's say if it would have been in the 70 and this is like 2% or something, it's good. So let's do this. For next week, I will roll my call. I'll make it 80. I will sell AMD, sell one put at 80, and they will be paying me the premium of 343. I'll make it 345. Let's see if I get it right away. Pending, placed. So the order went through. As you can see, AMD sold one, and we just wait. All right, guys, so the rent collection is in place. We got a credit of $345. It should finish above 80 or should finish above 80 by next week. And again, based on our technical analysis, we see strong support at 75. Most likely will flirt, bounce a little bit, and retest. This is a known pattern. And again, stop loss would be below the 75 if you don't want to own your 100 shares. But for the moment, I feel very good about this. And it was a nice 30% profit. So nice 30% plus the next week stuff. So we are looking into 345, about 400, almost 400, or almost $500. So congratulations to us, and keep it up, gang. Stay green.